Welcome back, and what we've done is we finished putting the catwalks on, and we went ahead and put this one over the top of the cupola. We attached the grab rails and the ladders and so forth, touched the paint up here and there where needed, and I'd say the majority of the detail parts are now on the exterior of the caboose, and we're going to start working on the inside of the caboose now. And we'll start with the upper part, the roof, and we're going to put in these alternating flasher, LED flashers, and they will be, see, the back of the caboose is this way, so we're going to mount these right here. Won't even see them unless they're turned on, which is really kind of cool. And then up in this window on the inside, we're going to install a little voltage meter, so that you can easily check on the status of the batteries while you're running the train. And we'll also then start working on some of the other wiring and figure out a nice easy way to be able to connect the wiring from the caboose up into the roof so that you can easily take the roof on and off without having to fiddle with a bunch of wires all the time. So we'll be back in a moment or two after we get this taken off. We have to just unscrew the ladders on either side, and then the roof lifts off. Okay, so we have our little voltage meter right here. I've mounted on a little piece of plywood, and have another little piece right inside the caboose here, right underneath the window, and we'll just screw this right onto this board. All right, well, this is the underside, and all that we've done so far is just put a couple of pieces of plywood in there, thin plywood, and then bolted that, or screwed that little voltmeter in so you can see it nicely through the window. Drilled a hole to run the wiring through. Now we'll just kind of glue those wires down, and then we'll come back and paint them. And we drilled a couple of holes in the top of the cupola so that we can put our alternating lights in, so we'll do that next. That's nice and snug there, so that's good to go. And then we'll come back and paint that, and really want them to be able to see that. This here is our alternating red LEDs that will point out the back of the caboose. That. Okay, that one looks pretty good there, and do the same thing. We just run the LED through and then put a little dab of the hot glue in the hole, and then just slide that back in. A tad so that it fits, comes out of the hole nice and straight. And that's all there is to it on that. Now, went to a jeweler friend of mine, and he 3D printed and then cast them out of kind of a white bronze metal. So I have these little cages that are perfect, that fit right over the 5mm LEDs, and then I just put a little dab of that E6800 and slide it right over, and we're good to go. Little dab in there. All right, so that will set up nicely, and then we just got to run the wires back on the roof or inside. So the next thing we want to do is run these wires from the LEDs back down into this roof compartment. And so I just notched out a very thin notch, very shallow notch, right along the edge here on both sides that this wire will just slide down into. And this little notch is just really to kind of keep the wire from getting pinched or whatever when that roof piece goes on here. So that's all there is. And this piece I'm just going to attach right here on the cross beam with a little bit of hot glue, and that will keep all that stuff nice and tucked out of the way. Now on this roof stuff, I want all the wiring for the lights in here to run forward, and this is where I'm going to put my connector in to bring power up. So we'll need to run another wire. I'll connect these all the way over to here and run that way. Okay, so we're going to start wiring this stuff together, and I just have some 28 gauge twisted red and black wire, and I already pre-drilled some holes through these cross beams here, and we're just going to run this wire all the way through over to here, and then we'll strip these and get them connected up. And this will be the power source for the little flashers. Now what's nice about this little LED flashing unit, it doesn't care about the polarity at all, and it's all setting off from like 7 to 24 volts. So nice little, pretty solid electronic piece, and they seem to hold up extremely well, and I get those at Evan Designs. Okay, we'll put all right. That one's good. It's tight. And now we'll do the other lead. And I just kind of twist these around each other a few times. And then hit them with a little solder. Okay. Those are good. Now we got our little heat gun here, and get that shrink tape down, shrink tubing around that. That's pretty good. And we'll grab the other one. Now I want to take the slack out of this wire, bring it to about right there. Twist those up just a little bit so we don't have a big rat's nest here and put a dab. Okay, we have that wire tucked in and run all the way back to this our little strip connectors here. Now I strip these back a little bit longer because I like to do is kind of fold these back and forth on themselves a couple of times so that I get just a little bit bigger, wire there, and I'll come and put a glob of solder on these, and that just makes this a bigger contact in these little strip connectors. All right. So come along and I will put on one side and guy in there. Okay, that takes care of that one. Now I want to use a little bit heavier wire to feed the voltmeter. All right, we got those stripped off, and I'm going to use these little guys. That would just a little ring of solder melts rather quickly, and then we just heat up the rest of that so we get a nice seal on the wire. And we'll do the same thing you can on this one. What I'm trying to do is just to twist that around a few times. Oops, that didn't work very well. Try one more time. That's a little bit better. Slide this all the way in. We have that little ring of solder right over the joint. Right. Now, these wires are a little bit heavier gauge, so I don't have to worry too much about folding them over, but we'll just go like that. those are good. Now we have that wiring all set up. And I've decided I want to use this little audio pin connector. And I think that would make a nice and easy connection for these lights. And for right now, I'm just going to hook it on just kind of temporary until we have all of the wiring figured out. Okay, that's all set. Well, I think we'll wrap it up for the evening. We have got a fair amount of our little projects done today. We got our voltage meter working in the front of the caboose, so that as you're driving the train, riding on the train, you can easily ascertain how your batteries are doing for the caboose. And then on the back side, we have our flashing red LEDs, and then our flashing blue lights, and then our also little battery self-contained light that can do on or off or flashing, and then of course the lanterns. So we're going to add a switch to where we can turn these on and off, these red flashing lights, just like we can turn the blue flashing lights on and off. And that way, when you're just kind of parked or on show or whatever on display, you don't have to have it looking like it's a highway patrol. But at night, on some of these bigger train meets where you have a lot of trains running around, and the further away somebody can see your train as they are coming up from behind, the better off everybody is. So I have a lot going on there at night when it's dark, when we're out running, so that everybody can kind of see. Also, we have a couple of different cabooses that are fairly similar running on our trains. So I've put different light configurations on the back end so that we can tell the difference between our different trains when we're approaching them or looking for them in the yard. So we will see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm Han McLean with Trainly TV, and have a good night.